Illinois Governor JB Pritzker has taken some steps to protect the people of the privacy of people with autism. This is following the HHS head RFK Jr.'s announcement that he's going to be trying to collect the personal private data of people with autism in order to support his conspiracy theories involving vaccines. Okay, so RFK Jr. has been a proponent of, it's the vaccines that are the cause of autism, even though there's absolutely no evidence of that. In fact, it's the Wakefield study that these anti-vaxxers always go back to has been completely debunked, disproven, and all of that. But nonetheless, he's saying that, by September, I'm going to have the evidence, right? I'm going to have the evidence of what's causing the autism. He even called it a preventable disease. Autistic people are not a disease. He called it an epidemic. In reality, it's more genetic from what we know. Families with one autistic person generally do not exist. Okay, I'm just saying. But no, Kennedy calls autism a tragedy that destroys families. I'll tell you what's destroying families, right? But first, he says, these are kids who will never pay taxes. They'll never hold a job. They'll never play baseball. They'll never write a poem. They'll never go out on a date. Many of them will never use the toilet unassisted. Again, he's wrong about all of that. Autistic people are not a tragedy. They are our families. There are families, friends, loved ones. That's it. And sometimes, yes, do they need extra support? Sure. They don't, though, need to be treated like Kennedy's sister, Rosemary. Remember her? She got lobotomized for having certain developmental delays and being irritable and difficult. So they mutilated her brain. They locked her away. That is how they used to deal with mental illness back then. People would see a disabled child and think, it must be the parents' fault. They must have done something wrong. Yeah, you made bad life choices. That caused this. God was punishing you with that child that's got delays. That is not remotely true. Okay, it's disgusting. Look, what happened to Kennedy's sister Rosemary was absolutely horrific. This is what disability advocates are trying to avoid. And JB Pritzker is going one step to protecting autistic people in the state of Illinois from having to go through that. Okay. Now, again, Kennedy, he's blaming the vaccines. The parents got the kids vaccinated and it caused autism, but you didn't. Okay. But in a cabinet meeting with President Trump last month, Trump, who also believes in this conspiracy theory, said, quote, there's got to be something artificial out there that's doing this. If you can come up with that answer, where you stop taking something, eating something, or maybe it's a shot, but something's causing it. No, this is just an extension of this old mindset of it's your fault, you did something. Something happened to you. Something caused this. Look, I wish instead of looking for a cure, okay, because autistic people are not broken, okay? They do not need to be cured, all right? Perhaps instead of doing that, we should be making the world better for those with neurodivergence, okay? We do not live in a world that treats people with neurodivergence very well. And this is a great example of that, okay? Where they're sitting there trying to cure people when in reality, they're doing eugenics. It's horrific. Now, Wednesday, Pritzker had signed his executive order, which would restrict the mass collection and sharing of autism-related data for Illinois residents. And I do hope more states, more governors take this path, okay? The governor's office said that this executive order is in response to rising concerns about efforts to create a federal autism registry or database without any legal safeguard or accountability. Illinois is now the first state to formally restrict the collection of sharing of autism-related data absent legal or medical necessity. Pritzker said in a statement, every Illinoisan deserves dignity, privacy, and the freedom to live without fear of surveillance or discrimination. As Donald Trump and Doge threaten these freedoms, we are taking steps to ensure that our state remains a leader in protecting the rights of individuals with autism and all people with disabilities. A draft of the executive order obtained by the Chicago Sun-Times on Tuesday says that Illinois state agencies may not collect or disclose personally identifiable autism-related data unless it is required for care, legal compliance, or program eligibility, and must always follow privacy and data rules. Contractors, vendors, and grantees who work with state agencies are also covered by the order and won't be allowed to collect, store, or disclose autism-related data. All disclosures will be required to be limited to the minimum amount of information necessary to meet the legal requirements and should also be anonymous when possible. Yes, this is what protecting your constituents looks like. Other states, take note. And here's the thing that bothers me. I live in Michigan, and my Governor Whitmer, has been kind of getting a little too close to Donald Trump. I think that is massively problematic. And one thing that might actually help salvage her reputation a little bit, okay, is for her to actually take this kind of action and be proactive in protecting the state's, autistic population, okay, against this massive federal overreach, okay? And so, yeah, take note and actually do something, because this is great. This is what protecting your constituents looks like. Pritzker is doing decent things. He's trying to protect immigrants. He's trying to protect the disabled, and is actually trying to do something to fight back against the Trump regime. And I never expected this billionaire, okay? And again, I don't think the billionaire should exist. And I would tell him that, even though I do personally like a lot of what Pritzker has done. And I think, he's a pretty good governor. Still a billionaire, okay? And I would tax the crap out of him to, lower that. But I got to give him credit where credit is due. And this is where he does absolutely get some credit. So good job, Governor Pritzker. And I hope other states will follow your lead, follow your example, and do what's necessary to protect people whose privacy and perhaps even lives are at risk from this eugenicist administration. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon in order to get notified whenever a new video is released. And if you want to support independent, progressive media through this difficult time where it seems like everybody is shutting down, you can become a member on our YouTube page, you can become a subscriber on Facebook, or you can go to my Patreon. It's patreon.com/Jeff Waldorf. Thank you.